let's talk about a story. A story about a family facing an enemy that's just everywhere. It's relentless, it's unstoppable, and here's the wild part. They literally need this enemy to survive.
It really makes you think, right? How do you fight an enemy you can't possibly defeat? I mean, when you're up against a force that's just overwhelming, what do you even do? Do you fight back? Do you just pray? Or is there another way?
Well, there's this one classic play that has a really fascinating answer, and it's found in A Mother's Ultimate Surrender. We're going to dive into J.M. Singe's masterpiece, Riders to the Sea, and it explores this really powerful idea that sometimes victory isn't found in fighting back. Sometimes it's found in a tragic final acceptance.
All right, first up, A Mother Against the Sea. This is J.M. Singe's masterpiece of modern tragedy. And to really get this, you have to picture where we are. We're on the Aran Islands off the coast of Ireland. It's harsh, it's windswept, and the line between living and dying is just razor thin.
So what exactly is Riders to the Sea? Well, it's a one-act play by John Millington Synge set on those very islands, and it's all about one family's struggle against the raw, destructive power of the ocean. And when I say it's short, I mean it's short. But wow, it packs an incredible punch. It might focus on this one family, but the themes, they're about all of us. It's about this constant, brutal battle against the very thing that gives them life.
Next up, The Family at the Edge. Let's introduce the characters who are caught right in the sea's grip. Because really, to feel the power of this play, you have to know the family at its heart. Their grief, their decisions, that's what drives the whole story.
Okay, so at the absolute center of this storm, you have Maria. She's the grieving mother, and believe me, she has seen more loss than anyone should. Then there's Bartley, her last surviving son. He's literally her last hope. Her daughters, Kathleen and Nora, they're the practical ones, trying to keep the house together and manage their mom's crushing grief. And then there's Michael, the son who was just recently lost at sea. His ghost, his memory, it just hangs over every single moment in this cottage.
Now let's talk about the villain in this story. The ocean as antagonist, a foe without malice, a force of nature. And this is what makes this place so brilliant. There's no, mustache-twirling villain here. The bad guy? It's the sea itself.
And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? Think about a typical human villain. They have a motive, right? They make a choice to do bad things. There's malice there. But the sea? It's totally different. It's indifferent. It's inevitable. It's this huge, impersonal force. It doesn't hate Maria and her family. It doesn't even know they exist. It just is. And in a lot of ways, that's way scarier.
And that brings us to the central paradox of their entire lives. The sea is everything to them. It's the life giver and it's the destroyer. For these islanders, it provides it all. The food, the work, their whole way of life. But it also takes it all away. They're completely dependent on the very force that is, one by one, picking them off. What a thing to live with.
So how does the play build this feeling of dread? Section 4, Signs of Inevitable Loss. You see, Synge is a master at creating this suffocating atmosphere. He doesn't just come out and say, hey, something bad's gonna happen. No, he shows us. He uses these powerful symbols that just tighten the knot in your stomach.
I mean, look at these. The play literally opens with the daughters sorting through the clothes of a drowned man, trying to figure out if it's their lost brother Michael. You've got these whiteboards just leaning in the corner of the room. Chillingly, they were bought for Michael's coffin, but now they're just waiting for the next person. Even something as small as Maria accidentally dropping the bread she's trying to give to Bartley for his journey, it feels like a terrible omen. Every little thing points to one conclusion: more loss is coming.
And you can just feel Maria's desperation in her words. She's pleading with Bartley, trying to warn him about the risks. She is trying everything she can to fight against what she feels is already written in stone. She's confronting this unstoppable power, and her plea is just so human, so heartbreaking. And this leads us to the heart of the play, Section 5, Maria's Tragic Peace. It's about her journey from resistance to a profound and final acceptance. The climax of this story isn't some big, loud battle. It's a quiet shift inside one woman's soul.
You can really see her journey happen in 3 clear stages. First, there's resistance. This is when she's pleading with Bartley, trying to hold on to the very last piece of her family. Then comes grief. The news arrives that he, too, has drowned, and she's hit with that final, devastating loss. But then, out of that grief, comes something you just don't expect: resignation. A quiet, almost unnerving acceptance of her fate.
And then she says it, the line that changes everything. There isn't anything more the sea can do to me. Just let that sink in. This is the turning point. She's lost her last son. The sea has finally taken everything it possibly can. And in that absolute, total devastation, something astonishing happens. She finds this strange, hollowed-out kind of freedom. There's no more fear. There's no more anxiety. Why? Because there's absolutely nothing left to lose.
So, why are we still talking about this short, pretty bleak Irish play more than 100 years later? Section 6, Synge's Universal Tragedy. It's because this story, while set in a very specific time and place, speaks to everyone. It taps into something fundamental about being human.
So let's break down the key takeaways. At its core, it's about human helplessness against the sheer power of nature. It's this profound meditation on grief, fate, and just endurance. It's also a really important work from the Irish literary Renaissance, a movement that was all about crafting a unique Irish identity through art. But I think the most timeless message is this. It's a story where resilience is found not in fighting back, but in acceptance.
And the way it's built is just genius. It's like a perfect little machine designed to create emotion. It actually follows the old rules of classical tragedy. Everything happens in one place over a really short amount of time, and it's all focused on one single plotline. And that structure it concentrates the drama, it ramps up the intensity, and makes the final impact absolutely unforgettable.
Which brings us right back to where we started, with this huge question just hanging in the air. When you're faced with the inevitable, is acceptance a form of strength? Think about it. Maria loses everything, but in her final surrender, she finds a kind of peace. So, is that peace just another word for defeat? Or is it something else? A complex, tragic, and maybe uniquely human form of strength? The play doesn't give you an easy answer. And honestly, that's exactly why it's so powerful.